Orlando Watson is the RNC's newly appointed communications director for black media and joins us now to talk about this, also about the outreach going forward. So, Orlando, I have to say you got one of the hardest jobs in America right now because you were brought on as part of the RNC's effort to reach out to African-American voters as a result of the autopsy results. So what's your first reaction to Michael Steele's comment about the tone deafness of the party as it currently stands?
Hey, Thomas, let me first start off with saying that it's great to be here. And since this is my first time on your show, I'd like to sort of break some news by setting the record straight. Early Sunday morning, the RNC sent out a statement right here that a lot of press offices received, as well as MSNBC, honoring the legacy of Rosa Parks. A few hours later, a tweet went out that had a typo in it, a typo. We later clarified that typo, but continued to focus on the statement that honored Rosa Parks, yet no one wanted to cover this statement. A statement that didn't have that typo in it. You yourself noted that, as well as others at NBC.
So we did cover it yesterday.
This is old news.
We did cover the statement yesterday that came out because we got it right before, and on Monday actually, because we did a segment on this, and you guys had sent us that statement. So we did get it on the air. And some people would say that the autopsy report, you know, that came out.
Well, Thomas.
Yeah.
I was just going to say it's called the Growth and Opportunity Report, and you know, talking about a typo in a tweet, it's old news. I'd like to talk a little bit about some of the things that we're doing here at the Republican Party to engage black voters as well as other ethnic groups. So let's talk about that.
Well, let's talk about that. Do you think, though, that because of the fact that, and I was reading some conservative websites about the reaction to how the RNC responded to this, and that some people were commenting, you know, don't apologize. There's nothing to feel guilty for. The RNC did nothing wrong. The mere fact that it keeps trying to amend what its statement was in the first place makes it look guilty. How would you respond to those statements?
Thomas, this is our statement here, and I'll read it to you if you'd like, but we're honoring the legacy of Rosa Parks. What those other people are obsessing over is a typo in a tweet. A typo in a tweet is old news. You know, I mean, we should move on.
So let's move on with that, because the autopsy report is actually what helped create the job that you now have at the RNC.
The Growth and Opportunity Project.
So if we want ethnic minority voters to support Republicans, this is the contents. We have to engage them and show our sincerity.
Yes.
That was part of the contents of the autopsy report. But since the report, we've seen efforts by the Republican Party to disenfranchise voters in this country, African-American voters in North Carolina and Ohio.
That's simply not true. What we've been doing here at the party, let me tell you about some of the things that we've been doing at the party. We've been engaging black voters. We've been going into the communities, showing up, meeting people in the places where they live, in the places where they work, in the places where they worship. Just this past month, Chairman Reince Priebus was in Detroit, meeting with black business and community leaders to talk about ways that we can move forward, talk about positive solutions to some of the problems that ail us. I don't remember the last time Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the head of the Democrats' National Committee, was in Detroit meeting with black business and community leaders. Do you?
So, but why would you send Rand Paul to Detroit? I'm sorry?
Look, what we're doing here at the RNC is an effort, you know, we realize that we need to expand the electorate. And so we're making every effort to meet people in the places where they live and to talk to people where, you know, in places where we haven't necessarily always been before. And so, for example, you know, Chairman Reince Priebus just last month as well was in New Orleans meeting with black families, parents and students who benefit from this Louisiana scholarship program. Let me tell you about the scholarship program that they have down there in Louisiana. It benefits low-income families, white and black. 8 out of 10 Louisianans support the program. That number's more than 90% amongst black families. So then why then does the president want to shut the door to opportunity on these kids and their families by filing a lawsuit to stop the program? I mean, what we have here is a bold program at the RNC that we believe is going to empower communities, empower families, and empower individuals.
Okay, well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about empowering, because right now, and we're moments out from the president giving a speech about economic benefits of the health care law, inequality in this country when it comes to income. Republicans continue to hold anti-Affordable Care Act hearings on Capitol Hill, and we look at the New York Times that recently shows its analysis of more than 60% of African African Americans live in states, almost all of them led by Republican governors who refuse to expand Medicaid coverage under the ACA. Do you find that to be defensible as you talk about wanting to attract and you know, allowing for personal responsibility in the conversations that Republicans support? Do you think that that's a defensible position for Republican governors to take against the ACA?
What I don't find defensible is after 5 years of, you know, living under President Obama, you know, he has little to show for what he's done for the black community. In fact, and if you want to focus on his health care law has cost jobs, particularly, you know, jobs in the black community. And he's done very little to speed up the job prospects of millions in black America and millions of Americans across the country. So while we're focused on, you know, trying to create jobs, private sector jobs, good paying jobs, career making jobs, I would ask, you know, what exactly has the president done for the black community? And the effects of his policies, the effects of President Obama's policies,
why didn't the Jobs Act pass in the House?
You can ask, you know, House Republicans, or House Democrats.
But that was
a
led initiative by President Obama, and it had the support that it needed from the Democratic side. Why didn't that initiative move further through the House?
Yeah. You know, a lot of the president's economic policies are based on tax and spend initiatives, things that we've tried in the past and that have failed. And so, you know, we need to try something new. How about, you know, let's revitalize that entrepreneurial spirit that makes America great. Let's remove the red tape and encourage people to start businesses and encourage people to hire more workers. But, you know, tax and spend policies simply don't work. And the people that bear the brunt of it the most are among the most vulnerable populations and low-income Americans.
Orlando Watson, RNC Communications Director for Black Media. Orlando, I know we're going to have a chance to speak again. Thanks so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Hey, I hope so. Thanks so much, Thomas.
Absolutely. Good luck with the new job. And just to point out, the program, you know, President